Imagine you are standing on the shoulder of a two-lane highway somewhere in New Jersey. It is 1952. The asphalt still holds the warmth of a late summer afternoon, and the sky is turning that shade of copper that only happens between 6 and 7 on an August evening. Ahead of you, set back from the road on a patch of gravel, sits a long, narrow building wrapped in ridged stainless steel. It catches the last of the daylight and throws it back in soft ripples. A neon sign on the roof spells out one word in cursive red script: Diner. Below it, a smaller sign glows pale blue: Open 24 hours. Through the plate glass windows that run the entire length of the front, you can see warm light, movement, chrome reflections. 3 cars sit in the lot: a turquoise Chevy Style Line, a cream and maroon Ford Custom Line, a mud-spattered truck with a dented fender. You push open the glass door with its chrome handle, and a small bell chimes above your head. The first thing that reaches you is not a sight, it is a smell. Bacon grease layered over fresh coffee, sweet maple syrup fading into the sharper bite of frying onions. Then the sound arrives: the steady sizzle of hamburger patties on a flat-top griddle, the clink of a ceramic cup being set down on a saucer, the low, easy drift of a song you almost recognize coming from somewhere to your left, and underneath all of it, a fluorescent hum so constant you will stop noticing it in about 30 seconds. The interior stretches out before you like the inside of a rail car, because that is exactly what it was designed to resemble. A long Formica counter with a turquoise boomerang pattern runs nearly the full length of the room, trimmed in chrome that catches every light source and doubles it. 12 red vinyl swivel stools line the counter on chrome pedestals, spaced close enough that your elbow might brush your neighbor's sleeve. Behind the counter, the kitchen is completely open. No wall, no partition, no mystery. You can see everything the cook does, and that is the whole point. This is the golden age of the American diner, and you have arrived at its center. Across the country in 1952, there are thousands of these stainless steel boxes glowing beside highways and on the corners of small-town main streets. They are not fancy. They are not trying to be. A hamburger costs 20 cents. A cup of coffee costs a nickel, and the waitress will keep filling it until you leave, or she runs out of patience, whichever comes first. A full meal, the Blue Plate special, meat and potatoes and vegetables, and a roll and coffee costs 65 cents. For under $1, you can eat like a king and sit as long as you like. Nobody is rushing you. Nobody is presenting a bill. You finish when you finish. This is a country riding the crest of post-war prosperity. The average family earns $3,500 a year. A new house costs $7,700. A gallon of gasoline is 20 cents. The economy is booming, the suburbs are spreading, and everybody, it seems, is buying a car, a television, and a house with a lawn. The Korean War grinds on somewhere far away, and Eisenhower is running against Stevenson, and Joseph McCarthy is scaring everybody on the television. But in here, none of that reaches you. In here, there is pie. Along the window wall, a row of booths upholstered in deep red vinyl face the counter. Each booth has its own small jukebox selector mounted on the wall, a chrome box with flip cards showing song titles, and a coin slot that accepts nickels. The Formica tables are the same turquoise boomerang pattern as the counter, trimmed in chrome. On every table sits a chrome napkin holder, a pair of glass salt and pepper shakers, a sugar dispenser with a chrome flip top, and a glass ketchup bottle. The booths are where the families sit, where the teenagers gather, where the couples press close together on the same side of the table. The counter is where the men sit alone: truckers, salesmen, factory workers on break. They eat with one hand and hold a newspaper with the other, or they just stare at the cook working the grill and think about whatever men in 1952 think about while eating a hamburger at 6 in the evening. The floor beneath your feet is black and white checkered tile, and it is always slightly sticky near the counter, no matter how many times the waitress mops it. The cook is a man in his 40s, thick forearms, grease-spotted white t-shirt, a paper cap perched on his head, a towel thrown over one shoulder. He works the flat-top griddle with a long metal spatula in one hand and a pair of tongs in the other. 3 hamburger patties sizzle on the left side. 2 eggs fry on the right. A stack of toast is browning in the commercial toaster behind him. He does not look up when the waitress calls an order because he is already listening. She shouts from the far end of the counter in a language that only the 2 of them understand. Adam and Eve on a raft. Wreck them. Burn one. Take it through the garden. Draw one in the dark. He translates instantly. Scrambled eggs on toast. Hamburger with lettuce and tomato. Black coffee. His hands move without hesitation. He cracks 2 eggs on the griddle edge with one hand, flips a burger with the other, slides a finished plate onto the counter, and hits a small chrome bell with the heel of his palm. Order up. The waitress appears in 2 seconds. She is wearing a pink button-down dress that falls to just below her knees, a starched white apron, and white shoes that have walked approximately 9 miles today without leaving this building. Her hair is pinned back with bobby pins. There is a pencil behind her right ear and an order pad in her apron pocket. She calls every man at the counter hon and every woman dear, and she has not sat down since 5:30 this morning. She picks up 2 plates in one hand and a coffee pot in the other, delivers the akashi plates to booth 4, pours refills for 3 counter seats without being asked, collects 2 empty cups, wipes a spill, and is back at the register before the bell rings again. She does this approximately 200 times per shift. Her tips today will total about $4.70. In the far corner, against the wall, sits the most beautiful machine in the room. It is a Seeburg M100C jukebox, standing over 5 feet tall, and it is glowing. Rainbow columns rotate slowly on each side, casting shifting ribbons of color across the chrome grille. 12 silvered glass tubes accent the speaker. Behind a glass panel, rows of song titles are printed on paper strips. A1, A2, B1, B2. 100 selections on 45 RPM records. A teenage boy in rolled-up jeans and a white t-shirt walks over, digs a nickel from his pocket, and drops it into the chrome coin slot. He punches B7. The mechanism inside clicks, whirs, and rotates. A tone arm lifts, swings across, and descends. The opening notes of a song drift out across the room, something warm and slow and close to heartbreak, and for a moment every conversation pauses. Not because anyone is listening on purpose, but because the music fills the gaps between words and makes the silence unnecessary. The jukebox is the heartbeat of this room. Someone is always feeding it nickels. Between songs, there is a mechanical pause, a clicking rotation, and then the next selection drops, and the room exhales again. It is 3:45 in the afternoon, and the teenagers have arrived. They come in groups of 4 and 5, sliding into booths with the casual ownership of people who believe this place exists specifically for them. The girls wear poodle skirts over crinoline petticoats, bobby socks rolled down to just above their saddle shoes, cardigans over fitted blouses, ponytails tied with ribbons. The boys wear rolled-up denim jeans, white t-shirts with the sleeves pushed up, hair slicked back with Brill cream into careful pompadours. They order milkshakes and French fries and Coca-Colas from the fountain, and they share everything because a milkshake costs 20 cents, and they are spending their father's money. The milkshake arrives in a tall bell-shaped glass with a paper straw striped red and white, and next to it, the cold stainless steel mixing cup with the extra still inside. That extra cup is the best part. It means the milkshake is not over when the glass is empty. The machine that made it, a Hamilton Beach spindle mixer, still sits on the back counter, its metal cup spotted with chocolate residue. This is not fast food. Nobody invented that yet. This is slow food served quickly. By 8 in the evening, the teenagers are gone, and the dinner crowd has thinned. The booths hold a few remaining families, a father reading the paper while his children finish their pie, a woman alone nursing a coffee, watching the parking lot through the window. The pie case, near the register, is half empty now. This morning it held 8 pies under its glass dome, backlit from within, so the golden crusts and towering meringues glowed like artifacts in a museum. Coconut cream with peaks of meringue browned at the tips. Cherry with a lattice crust showing crimson filling underneath. Lemon meringue, bright yellow custard under a cloud of white. Apple with a perfect golden double crust. A small sign reads, "Pie 15 cents, a la mode 25 cents." Pie is the soul of the diner. Every cook has an opinion about crust. Every waitress will tell you which slice is the best. By closing, the case will be empty, and tomorrow morning at 4 a.m., someone will start rolling dough again. The clock on the wall, a Coca-Cola clock with a warm amber backlight, reads 11:47. The diner is nearly empty now. A lone trucker sits at the counter, hunched over his 3rd cup of black coffee. His leather jacket hangs on the next stool. A half-eaten slice of apple pie sits on a plate beside his elbow. He has been driving since Pennsylvania, and he will drive until morning. At the far end of the counter, a man in a rumpled suit reads the evening edition. He has been here for 2 hours and ordered nothing but coffee. The cook leans against the back wall near the grill, arms folded, watching the empty room. The waitress wipes down the far end of the counter with slow, circular strokes. She refills the sugar dispensers. She marries the ketchup bottles. She is not in a hurry because there is nowhere to hurry to. The jukebox sits quiet, but its bubble tubes still churn, sending amber and red light rippling across the chrome trim. Through the plate glass windows, the parking lot is dark except for the neon sign's reflection on the wet hood of the trucker's rig. The stainless steel exterior catches the red glow and holds it in soft, repeating ridges. From outside, the diner looks like an aquarium, a warm rectangle of light in the middle of the dark, a place where people go when they have nowhere else to be. And nobody asks why you are there. This is what is about to disappear, not overnight, but steadily, inevitably, the way a photograph fades if you leave it in the sun. In 1956, Eisenhower will sign the Federal Aid Highway Act, and the interstate system will begin to bypass the 2-lane roads where the diners live. The customers will follow the new highways, and the new highways will have something the old roads never imagined: chain restaurants, standardized menus, identical meals in identical buildings from coast to coast. By the 1960s, McDonald's will have franchises in every state. Howard Johnson's will line every turnpike. The Holiday Inn will offer a restaurant right there in the motel. The idea of stopping at a diner because it is the only place to eat will become an anachronism. The stainless steel buildings will not be demolished. Most of them. They will simply be forgotten. Weeds will grow through the gravel lots. The neon will stop working. The chrome will tarnish, and the waitress who called everyone Han will retire, and nobody will replace her. But not all of them will disappear. In northern New Jersey, in small towns in Massachusetts and Connecticut and Rhode Island, a few of the old railroad car diners will survive. Some because they were too stubborn to close. Some because the neighborhoods around them changed in ways that kept people coming. Some because a new owner saw something worth saving in the ridged steel and red vinyl. Today, 70 years later, you can still walk into a handful of these places and sit on a chrome swivel stool and order a cup of coffee for not much more than the nickel it cost in 1952. The formica may be chipped. The jukebox may be a decoration now, or replaced by a speaker playing a streaming playlist that includes some of the same songs. But the counter is still there. The grill is still open. The pie case still glows near the register. And if you sit long enough and you pay attention, you can almost hear the bell. The small chrome bell on the counter. The cook's hand hitting it with the heel of his palm. Order up. And for a moment, it is 1952 again, and nobody is in any rush, and the coffee is 5 cents, and the neon is working, and the jukebox is playing something warm and slow, and the door is open, and the light is on, and you are welcome here.